lost when I feel like nothing. Always feel like I'm running. Both feel we're living worlds apart. It's fucked now, we lost in limbo. Remembering what you said though, and I asked you if we'd make it far. That one last kiss that they write about, my one last wish you could never doubt. I trust angels who fly away from you, and you told me that we'd never die. Gave me so many reasons why we were meant to be. Then she said no, 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 no. No, 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 you should. I've earned the cost and now I've paid it. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, please don't go. I know my face a memory erasing. Been a few years since I heard your voice, yeah. Lost a few here, but it's not by choice, no. Girl, I see your face every day when I look through my phone. Can't delete all these memories, won't leave me alone. Hit my blind side, never saw you coming. You were so wild, both know I was nothing. And I'm nothing now, nothing's changed, you know I'm just the same. Miss you now, but I hope that someday you explain. That one last kiss that they write about, my one last wish you could never doubt. Trust angels who fly away from you, and you told me that we'd never die. Gave me so many reasons why we were meant to be.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Today is October 15th, 2023. It is 3:03 p.m. on the East Coast. It's great to see you all in chat. Thank you all so much for joining me. Hope you all have had a great weekend and your Sunday is going good. I'm on here a little bit earlier today than I normally am because I have a lot of things to do later. Uh, one second, I got to show you guys some stuff. It was interesting seeing Smiley uh, calling the TBI earlier. That was very interesting, to say the least. I don't think that they're going to, really say anything. If the investigators if the parents aren't cooperating with the investigation, I personally don't feel like they're going to say a lot personally. But they said they still have funds and they're still working on it. I have a ring in my ear right now and it's annoying the hell out of me. I'm so sorry, guys. All right, so let's get started. What I've been doing is going through this timeline, and we have a lot to talk about today. And because we keep hearing that, well, the TBI said that Summer went missing in the early afternoon, and we're going to really get into that. Um, First, I want to show you guys something. I've showed you this before, but I think uh, we need to talk about this. And this is Crime Stories Obsessed, my friend Emma. If you haven't visited my friend Emma from Crime Stories Obsessed, you're really doing yourself a disservice. Great channel. One of the sweetest true crime people I know. Just a genuine person who cares about victims, truly. So replay, you guys can find that in the description. All the videos that I play today and talk about, as credit is given in the description. We're going to go over this, but then we're going to go over a timeline, and we're going to get rather deep in it today. So here we go.
Okay, guys, the summer where
Okay.
Northeast Tennessee home. There are few developments in the investigation into disappearance. The family.
Could y'all hear that, please? Let me know. Just let me know if y'all could hear that. Hello. Y'all are so kind. Perfect.
Family says Summer's mom and grandmother were gardening with the little girl when she went into the family home and they never saw her again. And police say this case is not like the others.
Within a couple of days, we have a tip or a lead or have an idea if they've been abducted, if they may be left into the woods. Somebody saw something that leads us, hopefully, to get an answer to where the child went or if they were taken. We're going to have some tip or lead. And that is the frustrating part for law enforcement in this case and for the public.
Police say that she was reported missing by her father. However, her mother was the one that was at home around the time she went missing. So that's where things get a little muddy for us here in the area.
If you have information about Summer, if you saw Summer the day she went missing, anything like that, if you captured a photo on a trail camera or surveillance camera, that's a credible tip.
at this point, I think they're trying to work out if anybody actually saw Summer alive and well that day.
Well, at this time, the circumstances leading to Summer's disappearance are very much under investigation. So it's an active and ongoing investigation, not going to stop until we determine what happened to her. All I can say.
So I personally feel like Summer's case would probably have been solved if it wasn't for probably their location. That's I think the location really there's not a lot of service. There's not a lot of, cell phone service out there. Now there's a lot more than there was just 2 years ago. All right, here we go.
Outside the house and not being found. She's been interviewed numerous times by not only my agency, but the TBI and FBI. We don't find anything with that complaint or information related to this case.
The mother and all those other people, are they still cooperating?
No, they're not cooperating right now. They have attorneys.
Is there anything else on that front you want to say or speak about?
Not right now.
It must be very frustrating.
Now, you tell me what parents that has a missing child that is not involved, that doesn't cooperate with their child's investigation, their missing child's investigation, please let me know, because that is not normal. You would think that they would be shoulder to shoulder, toe to toe, not cussing out law enforcement people that has helped in the very beginning. Don was almost apologizing for the people that was searching for his daughter. In my opinion only, I felt like he knows where she's at, and he may have felt like, they were wasting their time. That's what it felt like to me, like, because they have made it clear she's not in the woods. She's gone. She's, it just makes it feel like they know where she's at. It wasn't, oh, she might have ran off. You know, she was abducted literally from the first minute. They are saying that she knew she was abducted. They sent the boys over the hill and prayed to God, Grandis's words, that they wouldn't get abducted either. I mean, if your child goes missing, you're not going to instantly think abduction. That's not going to be the first thing that you are going to think is an abduction. That's probably the last thing that you're actually going to think. You know, you're going to think, oh, they walked off a little too far, they're hiding, something, but not an abduction, particularly where Don and Candace live.
For the sheriff and the TBI, when there's not a lot to go on in the disappearance of Summer Wells. But you hear that Ronnie Lawson, when interviewed, didn't look very happy and basically pointed out to the public that the family of Summer Wells, Candace and Don, were no longer cooperating with the investigation. Seems strange when you've got a missing 5-year-old. But not wanting to cooperate to help find their daughter anymore. Anyway, not that we'd understand that, obviously. But after they stopped talking, and according to Ronnie Lawson, they do watch social media and they do have people that check in, and if they see things, they will look into it and they will, see if there's anything in the information that we put online. So Sheriff Ronnie Lawson then apparently asks Michelle Bean, shown in the picture here, who worked with him for, 27 years? Like nearly 3 decades? And she worked doing all sorts of things at the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office. But she was quite...
Now, this woman that is photoed with Ronnie, she did work at the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office. I do believe what you are about to hear, Ronnie did tell her. However, I think he probably said it in jest, in passing, like, oh, well, tell those YouTubers, why didn't Candace call 4 hours? But I don't think, and first of all, he wouldn't admit it, but she was on Ziggy's panel. They're not going to tell you that. As professionals, because it truly is a little unprofessional, but
close to Ronnie Lawson, and he spoke to her about the case, but asked her to ask YouTube what they thought to this.
I just appreciate everything that you all are doing for Summer. I really do. And if I tell you where I'm from, I'm afraid somebody will know who I am. Because I'm well known around here. I told you where I worked at. Oh, crap. I'll just tell you. I'm from Hawkins County. Plus, I'm going to tell you where I worked at, too. So everybody will know.
Okay. Wait, didn't you
Police
say...
department.
Yes, that's right. You worked at the sheriff's department.
Sheriff's department for 27 years.
Yeah.
I can hear it in your voice. I already know. Thank you.
Thank you, September Virgo, for becoming a member. I appreciate it. We're going to do some members only lives coming up fairly soon as well. I appreciate you. She is now, listen to what she says. We are going to get into this timeline. I've been really digging into it, so we're gonna talk about it. We got a lot to talk about.
For your public service, madam. Ask you a question since you're here.
All right.
You still got connections with the Hawkins County? I'm sure you do, don't you?
Yeah, honey, I know about all of them.
That's good to know.
The only thing the sheriff told me to ask you to was to find out where or what took her 4 hours to call the sheriff's department.
4 hours?
He said if you want to tell YouTube anything, ask him why it took 4 hours for her to call the sheriff's department.
Oh, my God.
So I'm putting it out there on Ziggy's panel.
There you go. That changes the time. What do we have? We were stretching each of them to an active 2-hour block
Who
of
said
time where
that?
they could not be accounted for? Who said that, Miss Michelle?
The sheriff told me to say that.
There
Lawson?
you go.
Yes,
Or you
because
don't-
I
you don't-
talked to him about it.
So, Candace, what actually happened that day? And why did it take you 4 hours to report her missing? This changes everything. Where was Summer for 4 hours? Why did it take her 4 hours to report Summer missing? And what were they doing in that 4-hour timeline? Take your pick. Now, from what I was told, after this happened, Cher rang the police department and asked them why Michelle was
early afternoon when she was last seen. That her family reported her missing. They called the sheriff's office around 6:30. Prior to that, it was early afternoon when she was last seen.
Okay, so prior, this is Leslie from TBI, and she says they called in about 6:30. It was 6:26, and they said before that it was early afternoon, before around when Summer went missing. All right, now we got a lot to talk about. Let me pull this up. Okay. All right, we're going to talk about several different things here. All right. So, Fluffy, thank you so much, my love, for being a member 19 months. Oh my God, my dear. Thank you so much. You are so sweet. I appreciate you. Did you get my email, by the way? Appreciate you, my love. Okay. So, now remember, Marlena says, so that goes back to 2:30, which is the time Hunter got dropped off, matches what? Very much so. And Marlena, we are going literally step by step in this live today about that timeline. And to me, it opens up something just by viewing it. It opens up something, in my opinion. So now remember, this is a part of the timeline that, well, just something Candace says at the interview at the horse pond, and it's, I know I went to the hospital at 8. H called me and asked me what I was doing. I said I was sitting at the hospital with Mom. Dropped her off, and I was sitting there, and Hunter called me and asked me what I was doing. I said I was sitting there at the hospital waiting for my mother to get out. Why is there no mention of Summer? Why is there no mention of Summer whatsoever? And I'm going to play that video for you right here. This goes to Smiley's story and TikTok, the TC guy.
It makes no sense. The only thing that can come to my mind is that somebody snuck up there in that yard and took my baby girl.
What are the odds of that?
What are the odds of that?
From your perspective?
It happens all the time, all the way around the world.
I'm not questioning that it happens. I'm just asking you from your perspective and your property living up there as long as you have, Candace, right? What are the odds that that happened? Take a guess.
50-50.
Okay. What would be the 50% that it didn't happen? What are the other possibilities?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, she disappears.
Now, Chris is pushing her here, and you can tell she's starting to get a little uncomfortable because she's just trying to shut down. And then she starts with the I know I. Listen.
I don't know what else to say?
What,
I feel like everybody is against me.
it's all right. Do you want
I didn't even tell y'all. I know I went to the hospital at 8 with my mom, dropped her off, and I was sitting there, and Hunter called me and asked me what I was doing. I said I was sitting at the hospital in the parking lot waiting on my mom to get done.
So she's here. Grandma's at the hospital. And who's with her that day?
Summer.
Okay, I know I was just sitting at the, I know I took mom to the hospital. I was sitting in the parking lot saying, you know, waiting for my mom to get done. H asked me if I wanted to come over. Where's Summer in all of this? Why is there no mention of Summer? There's mention of Grandis, and there's obviously Candace, and there's mention of H in there. But why is it, Summer and I took mom to the hospital. We were sitting in the parking lot. H asked, Summer and I or us to come over. Nothing like that whatsoever, which is interesting. So Candace says she took her mom to the hospital. Candace, remember all the I's. Candace says, saying she tells H, Candace, is sitting in the car waiting for her mom to be released from the hospital. No mention of Summer whatsoever. Then H is saying Summer is not with them the entire day, just until they pick up grandma. That could go two different directions, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. The next question is, when was the plan to go swimming? We have heard different accounts of the swimming, debacle, whatever you want to call it. Now, Don, don't forget, calls, what did he call, what did he call what happened at, what's the word he used? I can't even remember. I forget what he called, whatever happened at the swimming hole, the event or whatever. And as far as incident, thank you, which I should have pulled that up, but I didn't. The incident that happened at the swimming hole. They decided to go fishing / swimming. Either Candace says that, they talked about it at H's house. So they either had to talk about them going swimming or fishing at H's house, but Candace also says that she had no plan on being out for a long period of time that day. Then Candace says, well, since we, in the Chris interview with her down at the horse pond, they decided to go swimming while they had to wait on the prescription, which was about 30 to 35 minutes. Now, remember, H said that he didn't sleep a lot the night before. So it had to be at least 10 or 11 o'clock before Candace arrived at H's house. So my question is, did Candace, which only investigators will know this because they have, the time, but did Candace plan on this happening the night before? Did H and Candace talk the night before? Because Candace says that she put Summer's bathing suit under the clothes, at 7:30 in the morning before they left. Now, H also says they changed it from swimming to fishing because of the grandmother, whatever that means. But I personally feel, though we have absolute no evidence of it because we don't have the phones in front of us, but H said he did not sleep the night before. He was up all night. I feel like Candace and H talked the night before. Just my opinion. Mom's gonna, be at the ER tomorrow. She has some doctor's appointment. Maybe I'll shoot over and come over. Yes, Robin, that's a very good question that I would like to know as well. 8 to 10, did Dawn come toward uh, Kingsport? Did Candace go back? Who knows? Now H says that, not H, sorry. Fred says he saw Dawn and the boys in the truck going up the hill about 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. So again, was the trip planned the night before on June 14th? Candace says in the horse pond interview that she put her in a bathing suit before they left that morning, which was around 7:30 in the morning, June 15th, because it was, quote, hot outside. That is absolutely true, Libby. Yes. Allie said that there was a time period that TBI not to discuss. What that timeline is, I have no idea, and none of us do to this day, right? Now, the questions are, we're going to really get into this timeline in just a little bit. Why not visit GP? Why hospital? Good question. Good question. Yes, it would have to be significant for, not to talk about it. I agree, Libby. Absolutely. So, question 1, why would you put a bathing suit under her clothes? She had no intention of going swimming June 15th, according to her. She said, well, since we were waiting at the pharmacy, we might as well take her down here at the swimming pond, which was literally, there's Walgreens, a four-way intersection, and the entrance to the state park. I believe that 100%, in my opinion, that this was absolutely planned. They went to that Walgreens because it was close to that state park. There's a Walgreens in that hospital. There's countless pharmacies before that, and there are other Walgreens closer in town to that area that they were at, closer to the hospital. In my opinion, this Walgreens was selected because it was close to the state park. My opinion. It's just my opinion. And again, H says he was up all night. They changed it from, which I don't understand, H, when he says this, they changed it from fishing to swimming because of the grandmother. I don't think that is really significant in my opinion, because if Candace already put a bathing suit on her at 7:30 in the morning, or she put the bathing suit on her at H's house, because from past pictures, it looks like Grandis likes to fish more than she likes to swim. There's photos of Grandis fishing a lot, right? So there's 3 different accounts when that bathing suit / the swimming story phishing story took place. One is at H's house. The other one is because they're waiting on for prescriptions, and the bathing suit would indicate that they are going swimming if you're putting a bathing suit on a child at 7:30 in the morning. So, all right. This is where we were just showing you guys. I was showing you guys earlier. Leslie Earhart from TBI said in the very beginning that Summer went missing in the early afternoon on June 15th. The parents called in at 6:30 or so. Then we also have Ronnie Lawson's old employee, worked there nearly 30 years, 20 some years. We have that with the why wait 4 hours? So we have TBI saying she went missing early afternoon. Then we have this employee of Hawkins County saying, ask him why it took Candace 4 hours, before she called. Now, the Britannica dictionary says that early afternoon is anywhere from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. That is classified as early afternoon. I work at a pharmacy and ships nationally. I check Tennessee law. Tennessee controls have to be filled in Tennessee and is based where. Okay, thank you. I personally do not think Grandis got anything controlled that day. I mean, I just don't think so. I think she got some. She gets DRUGS controlled from another state, probably. But anyway, early afternoon is considered 1 to 3 p.m. By the Britannica dictionary. That is how it is classified. So we got Leslie.
This.
I just appreciate everything that you all are doing for Summer. I really do. And if I tell you where I'm from, I'm afraid somebody will know who I am. Because I'm well known around here. I told you where I worked at. Oh, crap. I'll just tell you. I'm from Hawkins County. Plus, I'm going to tell you where I worked at, too, so everybody will know.
Okay. Wait, didn't you
Police
say?
department.
Yes, that's right. You worked at the sheriff's department. That's
Sheriff's Department for 27 years.
Yeah.
I can hear it in your voice. I already know. Thank you for your public service, madam. Ask you a question since you're here.
All right.
You still got connections with the Hawkins County? I'm sure you do, don't you?
Yeah, honey.
All right. So what times, follow me with this, okay? What times do we know where Candace, Summer, Grandis were for sure? Right? There is 2 timestamps that we have from them, and one is the TikTok video, and the other one is the timestamp from Candace / Grandis giving the video / picture in the truck. So at 12:21 p.m., we know that H, Candace, Summer, and possibly Grandis are at the swimming hole. We have that. We know that. Okay. That is when the TikTok video is. In this video, you can see H remove his shirt. I personally, this is my personal opinion. I want to make sure that's extremely clear. Believe that this video, the TikTok video, is shortly after they arrive to the swimming hole. because H is just removing his shirt. So I think that video was taken rather shortly after they arrived. He's just taken off his shirt, right? So again, that's my opinion, but we do know they are there at 12:21 p.m. on June 15th. All right. So let's say that Candace, H, and Summer are there. Let's not say they are there at 12:21. All right. Summer is on the video at 12:21. They said the prescription is going to take 35 minutes. Right? So if we're going to give them 35 minutes from 12:15, it's going to roughly be anywhere from 12:50 to 1 o'clock. They would have left the swimming hole. 12:50 to 1 o'clock. Okay, approximately. These are obviously approximate numbers. H then states that they go to the hippie house. He says they stay there no more than 5 minutes tops. Grandis and Candace go in. They're not in there more than 5 minutes. By all accounts, Candace and all of them say no more than 5 minutes. So we're going to give them 15 minutes from traveling from the horse pond, going to the hippie house and coming back to the Walgreens, right? So leaving the horse pond, going to the hippie house, staying in the hippie house, coming back, going to the Walgreens. They're very close. It takes a few minutes to get out of the state park there. All right. So now we're looking at approximately 105 to 115. 105 to 115 ish, approximately. All right. Now, they arrive at Walgreens. H says the line was long. The national average for waiting in a Walgreens live drive-through is approximately 15 minutes. He says the line was long. That is also when I don't know if Dawn calls the first time that they're in the drive-through. I think it's the first time, but I'm pretty sure it was the first time. All right. So after getting to the Walgreens, waiting at Walgreens approximately 15 minutes, he says the line was long. We're at about 1:20 to 1:30 p.m. Then they go to Sonic and get drinks for everyone, right? The Sonic and the Walgreens are almost across from each other, very, very close. You can see it's within eye distance, right? So we're going to give them about 15 minutes to get their drinks, their wait time, pay and all that. So we're looking at approximately 135 to 145, just to give averages. All right. The next thing that they do is go from Sonic to Priceless. It's an 8-minute drive. I've driven it. And I show you right here. From the Sonic to the Priceless grocery store. Now, yes, SL, they're showing up. Yep, everyone's showing up. Now, if you wait 8 minutes from the Sonic to the price list, this is where things there's a huge inconsistency between Candace's time and H's time, right? Big, huge inconsistency. One says 5 minutes, the other one says an hour, maybe longer. Okay. So, uh-oh, what did I do? Okay. I just exited out of it. Sorry, 1 second. All right. Give me 1 second, y'all. Okay. Yes, please hit the like if you haven't already. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. All right. So from Sonic to the Priceless, 8 minutes. Candace states, per Candace Blywells, from Sonic, they went to Priceless and was not even in there 5 minutes, just grabbed milk, some cheese, and not sure what else, and came back. Now, this is H's statement. Justin, did you drive both stories? I mean, their stories are the same, except the order in which it happened and the length. The length. Yes. Yes. So we're gonna cover that. So H's, then they stopped at Priceless. Summer and sorry. Okay. So Candace and Grandis went into the store. H and Summer stayed in the car and watched TikToks. He says they were in the store for an hour, maybe a bit longer, that they had a lot of groceries. They come back to the car, put the groceries in the bed of the truck, and says about the milk, quote, they put them there. Well, I think I put them there in the middle because there was no room on the other side of me. Yeah, I put them there because she was sitting by the window and she was not sleeping. I just set them in the middle because if they were to fall and spill, it would be on me, and I don't feel like cleaning up no truck mess. He, quote, end quote, rather. He is then asked again about the milk and says, quote, they gave it to me not like to keep, put to, but to put it away, I guess is what he means. I had it sitting on my lap until we got back. Yes, out there, meaning his home. When asked where he put the milk when he got out, he said, I set them in the middle because I thought Summer got out of the car too. Then states that he thought Summer was in the middle, that he was not sure if she was sleeping or leaning on the milk at the door. He just wanted to go outside. So there's that. He does seem confused about the milk, and he's confusing everyone about the milk. Okay. So Candace says they were in there 5 minutes. H says an hour, maybe a bit more. Because there are several gallons of milk in the photo, Candace said that they had to separate the groceries and take it to grandma's camper. I tend to believe H more personally in this scenario, as we know Candace has lied in that very interview on Chris McDonough when she was talking to Chris about giving H the alcohol and the vapes. We know that she lied about that. So she'll probably, why wouldn't she lie about this? And we know that there are several gallons of milk in the car. We know that Candace herself said, the boys helped me carry the groceries out of the car. We separated them in the house, and then we took the groceries over to Grandis. So I believe personally that there was several groceries. It makes more sense if you have to separate it, have your children help you carry it in, separate it, and have them carry it to, you know, to camper. It makes more sense. So I am not going to allot an hour to this, and I'm not going to allot 5 minutes to this either. I'm going to give approximately 35 minutes from the time they got there to the time, they went in. Grandis has a bum knee. They get groceries, all of that. You can't even check out in 5 minutes. Like, even in an express uh, lane, you can't even check out in 5 minutes. So I'm going to allot 35 minutes to the grocery shopping, loading them up, everything, right? I think that's fair. It's not an hour or more, like H says, and it's not 5 minutes, which is totally not even possible. You can't even get in the store in 5 minutes. So, all right. So if they waited about 35 minutes in that grocery store, the current time that we have added up is approximately 2:18 to 2:30. 2:18 to 2:28. It is 6 minutes from the grocery store that they were at to H's house. So adding that on, you're looking at about 2:24 to 2:34. They could have been a little longer. They could have been a little longer, right? Justin, not for 2 gallons of milk and cheese. I say maybe 20 minutes tops, in my opinion. But they had to sort groceries. If you need your kids to go out and help you carry in groceries and sort them, I personally believe 35 minutes is very fair. I think it's very fair, personally, my opinion. Okay, 6 minutes to the 6 minutes from the grocery store to H's house. We're looking at approximately 2:24 to 2:34, which is about right. According to Candace's timeline, Allie's and H's, they say it's about 2:30 to 3:00 when they get. So if Candace left H's house, right, it's 21 minutes from H's house to 110 Ben Hill Road. It is 21 minutes door to door. So the current time is going to be about 2:55. I think I put it there twice. 2:55 to 3:00, something like that. Okay. Now, my timeline is a few minutes off, and approximately 9 minutes off from the next timestamp that we have. And the next timestamp that we have is 3:09 p.m. And that is when Candace and Grandis take this photo of Summer Moon Utah Wells on in the back of the truck. It is 3:09. At this point, Candace says she is 5 minutes away. 5 minutes away from being at 110 Ben Hill Road. When did she get a chance in that tracksuit? That is a good question. That's a good question. When did she change? Did she change her while, when they were leaving the watering hole? That's the only time I could think of. But anyway, 3:09 is when this photo was taken / accidental video. Candace says she's 5 minutes away from the house. And if she was 5 minutes away, she would have arrived at 3:14 p.m. 3:14 p.m. Let me check something. At 3:15 p.m., Candace says approximately that they unlocked the gate, went up, and this is when she said she woke Summer up. She jumped right up, and she says she unbuckled her out of the car. Now, this is the most interesting thing to me. Right here. Right here. Remember, TBI, Hawkins County says, why did it take 4 hours? 15 minutes after arriving home at 3:15 p.m., Dawn says the phones were wiped clean at 3:15 forward. Dawn's phone, Candace's phone, and Grandis's phone were all wiped clean at 3:30 forward. If the TBI says Summer went missing in early afternoon, the parents aren't cooperating. Dawn has a history of DV. CPS has removed children, different states, different times, different situations. I personally think something happened in this theory. It had to have happened either in the truck overheating. She had to overheat something potentially at the swimming hole, but I think they got home, in my opinion, and that is when they started cleanup mode. Me too, Amy. I often wonder if at 3:15 or something, when they got home, did they just leave her in there? She had just been to sleep 5 minutes, according to Candace. And I wonder, did they just leave her in there? there is no cremation. I'm telling you that right now. That is one thing that I will argue with anybody on. There was no cremation. I have worked in I'm telling you there was no cremation. But if the TBI says something happened in early afternoon, who wiped the phones? Good question. I don't know. But I can tell you 3 phones were not accidentally wiped. They were not accidentally wiped. Yeah, SL, it's doing like if it's, it's almost impossible to do like a cremation like outside of like it takes a long time. I don't know. Don just said it's just interesting how our phones, all 3 of them, were wiped out after 3:30. Now, let me think here. Something changed, in my opinion, around the 3. It's like as soon as they got home, things, in my opinion, went into action. Even from Dawn's saying our phones were wiped at 3:30. Well, they got home about 3:15. They got home about 3:15. Why 3:30? That all those phones were wiped. I will show you. The first call went in at 6:26. Candace says that she went all the way down by the church and then went all the way down the other way, and I didn't see nobody even out and about. Then I went all the way back in the holler as far as the truck can go, and I didn't see nothing back there either. When I was coming back out of the holler, the cops were coming up in my driveway. So I just followed them up in here. I don't recall if Don was here before the police got here or if he was here at the same time they showed up. Why does everyone's memory, meaning everyone, Don, Candace, Grandis, why does at 3:30 their minds out the window? No, don't even. I don't even entertain cremation, to be quite honest with you. That is one thing I don't even entertain because it's ridiculous personally. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, I've worked in funeral homes and crematoriums and stuff, and it's just not going to happen. So, why? Why? Why 3:30? Hello, Chloe. How are you, dear? Beverly, she definitely could have. But if we're going on approximately, 3 to 4 hours, then we are, it makes you feel like something happened in the car while they were waiting. Was there an overheat? I mean, statistically, a child has way more likelihood of drowning, of overheating, like heat stroke, being left in a car. And it could be even, Candace thought, oh, well, it's only 70 some degrees outside. It's not that hot, and just, a car can heat up 40 degrees or more within an hour before, and the windows can be rolled down. I mean, she was still in the back, cab of it. Yeah, definitely like an oven. Definitely. And there was something that I want to play here. It is from the interview room. Link is in the description of these. Are so valuable, these interviews. It makes me wonder why Donna's so confident. There's a section up here that I caught something.
It's meant the world to me. Little Summer still does.
Thank you, Cher. Thank you, my
It
love.
just kills it that she's gone. And,
Candace was dirty and washed, and she did let her kids run all over and didn't make them mind.
So, and did that strike you?
Yes, and I did not like her.
Okay. And you're a great grandma, so you have that sense.
Hold on. I truly respect everyone's opinions, except cremation. I can't even with the cremation, but I do want to say something here. Moonflower says if it was planned, then accidentally theory is debunked. There is nothing necessarily, none of us know what happened to Summer. None of us. And that's just that. I mean, what we are talking about is theories, and all of that, but there is nothing that is necessarily, we have no idea if this was planned or accident at all. So there's that. Okay.
On whether you can tell, right? I mean, knowing, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So when were the highs and when were the lows?
We did. She had went to Utah, well, Wisconsin, over the summertime. She came back just before school started for the kids, and we did family things with my kids and her kids.
Right. And your mom?
Walks and hikes. No, my mom had a falling out with her.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And over time, it's just started falling apart.
And how much time do you think it took?
A couple months for me to realize.
Don drank unrefrigerated milk. He still does to this very day. I don't know how, but he does.
And what did you realize?
She was using me.
Okay. Describe that for me.
Let's see, I put food in her house to feed her kids and her and her mom. I've had money come up missing, which I never.
I see you. She can unblock Lisa. I see you. Can you please unblock our sweet Lisa Thompson? Let me see if I can. I'll try.
Never told anyone.
Okay.
And it's pretty obvious where it went because there's only 3 adults in the house at the time. The rest were kids. Kids can't go down to the store because there's not one that's in. That's where to go.
And where did you think the money was going?
I don't
What's your gut?
know. Probably drugs.
Okay. What kind of drugs?
Well, she came out and told me she was a recovering meth addict.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't strike me as having the characteristics of somebody who is obviously under.
I agree with Chris on this. I don't think she's not blocked here. Okay. Okay. I don't. Candace doesn't look like the math type, if you ask me personally. Okay, Lisa's not blocked. Okay. Perfect.
The influence of meth all the time. Sorry? Booze. She drink a lot?
Oh, yeah, every night at 5:30.
I'm not saying she didn't do meth. Don't misunderstand me, right? I mean, I don't
She never
know.
did it for me. She always smoked weed.
Okay. Yeah, who
And, she
doesn't smoke weed today, though, right?
Me.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, oh, yeah. So we got 4 at the table here. Okay.
And nothing about it. She drinks every night.
At least Leslie said
She
she's
drinks
on.
a nice sized bottle of R&R.
So at some point, 3 or 4 months into it, correct me if I'm wrong, okay, your relationship kind of dissolved, but it maintained.
Longer than
It
that.
was longer than that.
It was the start of the second year.
Yeah. It was about the end of August, early September.
Okay.
And then I really cut ties at the end of September, early October.
In that time, how was she treating the children?
She'd smack them and beat them.
Describe that.
Well, let's see. One time her son wanted a drink. She said no. He threw a fit on the floor, so she went over and wailed his ass.
Is that normal? Would you describe that as a mom, from your mom's position? Would that be out of the norm, or even that raise your eyebrows?
It raised my eyebrows. Like, I don't beat my kids.
Okay.
Hold on.
Did you say anything?
Please tell me you're lying. Suzanne Summers died. Please tell me you're lying. Hold on. Oh my God, she died. She did die. Oh my God. I've got all kinds of Suzanne Summers products. She had breast cancer. I might do a live in a little bit about that. Yeah, 76. Oh my God. I have I forget what it's called. I have the Suzanne Summers. I'll get it out. Where it zaps your face, keeps you aging longer. It's basically like a tinge unit for your face. Oh God. Bless her. I did a lot of her. Yeah, the Thigh Master. There's no, not the Thigh Master. It's the thing where it zaps your face. You put the product on it, and then it's like. She was big on the bioidentical hormones and stuff like that. She was big on the anti-aging stuff. No, it's not a laser. It's like a tinge unit.
Thing to her?
I said, what'd you do?
Ask her who unplugged the freezer.
Not me.
What hose unplugged? Now we can't have pizza snacks.
Well, plug it back in.
I did.
But in between this, you should ask Leslie. Because Leslie was there before all this.
Here, we'll get back to the regular scheduled program in just a second, but here it is. This is what it is. It's the face, I think it's called the Face Master or something like that. Right here. See, it's like you like, it's facial toning system. It basically electrocutes your face. Thank you, Love Pink. Thank you so much for becoming members. I appreciate you. We're going to be doing some member only live streams very soon. So, yeah. Anything for the purpose. Sorry. Okay, here we go.
So you've known Candace longer?
No.
Oh.
No, I met Candace on her birthday. See, me and her worked together.
Okay.
So I came over for her birthday party. And they had a swimming pool up out back. It's a little swimming pool. And her kids and Candace's kids was playing in the pool. And some of the kids had got.
That's so weird today because Smiley, she called 555 Chrissy from Three's Company. I bet she had no idea. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Got out and was eating a snack while we was cooking hamburgers and stuff. And two of her boys was in the pool and they was horse playing. And this really, what she done really got to me.
Okay.
I mean, they're kids. They're going to play in the pool.
Right.
They're going to get rough. You know, they're boys.
Right.
And because they got rough, horse playing in the pool, she made them get out. And back here behind the house, there's a driveway. And she made the two boys get out of the pool, wet, and lay down, stomach down on blacktop.
It was hot. Really hot.
That left an impression with you.
It left an impression so bad.
And I wish Leslie was here as well. I wish she was here. You know, we don't, Leslie passed away as well, so we don't have her, but this really upset Leslie, seeing Candace do that.
Bad. I looked at her and Allison's mom, Sherry. I said, I do not like this bitch. Straight up.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Allison, I said, this swimming pool is going down. I said, those kids did not deserve that.
Mm-hmm.
I walked out, picked the swimming pool up, and dumped it. Turned around and walked back in the house. I did not want to be around her the rest of the evening. I didn't, because if I would have been, honestly, I would have went to jail.
Right.
And you want to ask me how I felt about that? That is abuse. Those children could have got seriously burnt.
Right. No, I agree. That if that ground is just unbelievably hot.
And with them being wet.
Right. Yeah, it's just like oil and water and grease. It just fries them up. How did she react?
She just laughed.
She doesn't care. She doesn't care. She doesn't care.
Her and her mom both just laughed.
Well, that certainly has left an impression on you.
And, H was very close with Leslie as well. He has really been through a lot as well in the last couple years. To be, it's hard growing up as a teenager, especially in today's world. There's a lot of social pressures. So, heart's really out for H.
Leslie?
Yes, it does. I don't like her. I have nothing for her.
Right.
And I told that one right there when we was at work.
Right.
Every day she was off work, she was at Walmart spending money for them.
Okay.
Every day.
For the children. I know what you mean by for them, for the children. Am I right? Me helping the kids move forward.
Those kids, all they would eat is dollar pizzas.
How did they... Penny, for your thoughts, Leslie. Where are you at?
Honestly, I think Candace done something to her. Because Candace was jealous of that little baby.
Why though? Why would
Because that baby was getting Donnie's attention.
Oh, okay. So it's a pull between dad or the child.
See, and a little
Is that right? Is that what you're saying?
And a little dark secret that no one knows. Candace's mom told me this one. When they found out that they were pregnant with Summer, Candace's mom was supposed to adopt Summer.
Because she was a girl.
Because she was a girl.
Oh, interesting.
She wanted boys. But Donnie
wanted a girl.
Yeah.
And he got his girl.
Call DCS. Call DCS. DCS has been called so many times on this woman, it's not even funny.
Leslie said it. She said it right there. I really feel if there was either some type of accident, the watering hole, or left in a car, or this is CPS related, if there's any intentional, in my opinion, how I personally feel, then it's CPS related. If there's something intentional, you don't just fire your employee the day before, that could tell your alibi and take a car a modern car to this work site and have CPS the day before, and your child goes missing 24 hours later.
So what the Facebook people don't realize, there has been people try to step in.
No.
She avoids them.
Sure.
Like
sure.
the plague.
Okay.
This is so important right here, guys. Listen. I'm going to back it up just a little bit because what she's about to say next is what I wanted to make a point on.
No.
She avoids them.
Sure.
Like
sure.
the plague.
Okay. Okay.
She would see them pull in her driveway. She would lock the door and not let them in.
So they're.
I mean, what are
Then
we
they would make
supposed to do?
appointments with
Yeah,
them
right. I get it.
to come back and do the house check and, you know, the P.
Do you hear what Allie just said? And they would make appointments with them, meaning CPS. Hello? Boom, mother chicken. We're going to rewind this.
There has been people try to step in.
No.
She avoids them.
Sure.
Like
sure.
the plague.
Okay. Okay.
She would see them pull in her driveway. She would lock the door and not let them in.
So they're.
I mean, what are
Then
we
they would make
supposed to do?
appointments with
Yeah,
them
right. I get it.
to come back and do the house check and, you know, the P test, and they would avoid them.
So I have a question for you. That day,
She would avoid them like the plague. She wouldn't let them in the house. They would make an appointment with her, meaning CPS, so they could do their P test and everything else. There was a reason that the CPS and her boss was with her that day. According to my friend who works for CPS, it's generally people who can be, really hard to deal with, especially like, people out in the country and stuff where it might not be as safe. They'll bring their supervisor. It is very significant. This is very significant in my opinion. And I just caught it earlier. They will bring the police many times. But this is so important, guys, in my opinion.
And they found out that they were pregnant with twins.
This has been called so many times on this woman, it's not even funny. So what the Facebook people don't realize, there has been people try to step in.
no.
She avoids them.
Sure.
Like
sure.
the plague.
Okay. Okay.
She would see them pull in her driveway.
Listen to Allie.
She would lock the door and not let them in.
So they're.
I mean, what are
Then
we
they would make
supposed to do?
appointments with
Yeah,
them
right. I get it.
to come back and do the house check and, you know, the P test, and they would avoid them.
Their house check and the P test, and they would avoid them. I do not believe, personally, Don and Candace, when they say that it was closed on the 14th. I believe they were coming out the next day. Thank you, Cece, for becoming a member, my love. Thank you, Not a Robot. Because guess what? Don says on shares that the day after Summer went missing, which would have been the 16th, CPS was out there again. That is why, in my opinion, Pruitt says the cases bleed over with one another. There is something here. I don't know if Summer is out there. Maybe it's someone else's home, or something worse. But something had to have happened. They had to have feared something about Summer, in my opinion, for them to do something. Drugs in the system. You know, did she allegedly, potentially, OD again? Or worse? I don't know. I don't know. But I do know that Allie just said that they made appointments with them. I do know, based upon my friend who works in a different state than where they are right now, Tennessee, she doesn't work in Tennessee, that they will make appointments for some really hard cases occasionally. They'll still drop in other times, but they will tell them, you need to meet us here at this. It's not really more of an appointment. It's more of, this is what she said, it's not really more of an appointment. It's really more, you're going to be here at June 16th at 4:00 or else. You get what I'm saying? Like, they tell them, you're going to be here we're going to meet you at this time, such and such day. So it kind of is an appointment, but it's, the element of surprise is gone. But they will still go in at different times and obviously kind of surprise them. A mandatory check. One second.
So I have a question for you. That day, walk me through what you remember.
I remember her showing up that morning.
And what time was that?
About 10, between 10 and 10:30.
All right.
She asked if Hunter could go fishing with her in Summer because her mother was in the emergency room because of her knee.
Okay.
Because I guess a couple weeks back, I took her a trip to Gatlinburg and the boys were kicking the grandmother in the knee.
Oh my.
She didn't have the boys with them that day.
She didn't have any of the boys.
So it was just Summer and Candace and Grandma.
Yep.
Was Grandma in the truck as well, or in the vehicle?
Not when they first picked Hunter up, no.
Okay. So
Do you think Don and Candace are going to allow the boys to be there by themselves when CPS was just there the day before? I don't. I don't. I don't. I think Dawn may have taken the boys. Candace may have taken Summer and Grandis. Grandis may have done an ER visit to make an excuse. Even potentially. Oh, sorry, Mom. Mom's in the hospital. I can't meet you, or a lot of things are going on. But I don't think they would leave them there by themselves. Jose said she would never leave them by themselves. She knows that the kids are really hyper and rambunctious and things can happen. If they normally left them by themselves, then why did Dawn take them to work many times? Ellie, that was what they said the boys was told to clean. But that was, in my opinion, just an excuse. Did you hear them? Well, why did, Candace said when they got home, the boys was sleeping and watching television. If the pregnant each child. Mm-hmm.
So she comes over. Okay, so she comes over. What vehicle is she driving?
She was driving her mom's Silverado.
Okay, that's what I remember you saying. That's why I said truck. Okay, so she pulls up, and does she stop where? Right out front.
Between the pole and my mailbox.
Okay.
To pick Hunter up.
All right.
She came in, she goes, "Can Hunter go fishing with me for a little while?" I said, "Sure."
Did she text you before?
No, she just
showed up.
Yep.
How did that strike you?
She came there, according to Allie, and she said, "Can Hunter go fishing with me?" Well, if she came there and she said that, then that means it was planned before they got there. I think that fishing and or swimming trip was planned prior. It was planned, I think, in my opinion, probably the night before. H says he wasn't sleeping all night. I think they might have been talking. Candace puts the bathing suit on her.
She was always trying to show and talk to me. She was the first. When me and her stopped talking, she was stopping by my mom's, talking to the kids, talking to my mom, unexpectedly, "What are you doing?" And, I didn't think anything of it at that time. I'm like, okay, yeah, Hunter can go fishing. He loves Summer to death. That's like his little sister.
They're buds.
Yep. She's like a daughter to me. And I didn't hear from him for a while. She dropped Hunter off between 2 and 2:30, right where your truck is.
Okay.
But her front end was facing the telephone pole.
So she's going this direction.
Yes.
Okay.
When she dropped Hunter off, it was her mom, Hunter, and Summer. And Summer was leaning against 2 gallons of milk.
Okay.
I said, oh, look at her. I asked her how Summer was, and she was sleeping.
What side of the back seat was she at? Do you remember?
Hunter was on the driver's side, and Summer was right there in the middle.
Okay, so it made sense if she's pulling this way that Hunter's going to get out on this side. Okay, it makes sense. Okay. And so she's on the other side or in the middle?
She's in the middle.
Okay.
Like against the milk, gallons of milk.
Yep, against the 2 gallons of milk.
Okay.
And I said, oh, look at her. I said, isn't she hot? I said, I wish I could wake her up and, give her a hug. No, you can't.
And the
windows were up.
What did Hunter say? Because he was sitting next to her.
Hunter said she was alive.
Okay.
That they were watching TikTok videos.
Oh, interesting.
When they went into the store.
Yep. Because Hunter has a timeline of where they went and what they did. And they had stopped at the store before they dropped Hunter off. That's where the 2 gallons of milk came from.
Okay.
And the groceries.
So let's go back to the truck share. Summer's on the other side with the milk. Hunter gets out. You ask Hunter, or you talk to Candace about wanting to talk to Summer.
Yep.
What happened?
Cassie, yes, you mean a gate at 110? There was a gate at 110 when Summer went missing. They locked it at that time. Candace says they unlocked it before they got there, or when they got there that day, and then went up the hill. So there was a gate. Oops, crap. There was a gate whenever. Well, we'll go over it in a second. I was there.
She said no. I wasn't allowed to
This
wake her
last
up.
time.
Okay. So she's sleeping?
To me, she appeared sleeping.
Okay. Did it look like to you she was sleeping?
At the time, yes.
Okay.
But now that I look back on it, I really don't know.
Okay. Fair enough.
And it just kills me. Because, now that I look back on it, it's like, was she really alive? Was she sleeping?
What's your gut as a mom? I mean, with Hunter coming in and saying, Mom, we were watching TikTok videos. I mean, for her to hurt her between the TikTok video stop and home here with Hunter in the car, that would have been kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, I believe she was alive here.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, where would you put her being alive?
10.
And where would Hunter put her?
Out of 10.
Okay.
Because he sat here and he said where exactly what they were doing. She was giggling, watching TikToks and everything. And he said she fell asleep because she was tired. And that was right before they pulled up.
Thank you, Chris, from the interview room for sharing that with us. I want to show you this. Let me find it. Okay, I know where we're at now. This is June 2023 at the Wells. Ben Hill. You want me to go first, or you want to go first? Okay, he's going first. Hold on. This is the beginning of Ben Hill Road. This is Ben Hill. It's a very narrow road. Very, very narrow. Let me see if I can. Very narrow. First driveway on the right. If that's not old nail polish, it is not old nail polish. This is how this road would have looked on June 15th, 2021. This is their driveway. When the leaves are out, it does not look steep. It's so weird. But when the leaves are gone, you can really see how steep it is, and it's actually a lot better. They've filled in a lot of the holes, but if you like way up here, there's big ruts. I mean, look at the vegetation. I can't believe I got service. I can't believe I got service.
You got service?
I think I do. Am I live?
I guess. I lost it way in here.
Does that look like, I mean, no, you're way up on a hill. There is forest, vegetation, a super amount of vegetation all around this.
That's crazy. I lost you a few months back.
The last time I was here was winter, and it was not even remotely this bushy, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid if I go any further, I'm going to lose surface. That is correct. It used to be at like now. What do you guys think? Does this look like someplace that it's going to be? Nobody's going to come up here on this hill. No, you can't. Nobody's coming up here on this. Every time I come here, I'm like, not a chance in hell, in my opinion. Now, this is the only time that I have been here that they did not have dogs, but usually by the time you arrive and you step out of the car, these dogs are up here at the hill and they start barking and they'll come right down here. I usually, you feed them and stuff, but nothing. And they would bark a while and then they would go right back up. Right back up. Okay. I mean, this is nowhere.
Yeah.
We're in Nowhereville. I mean, you are in Nowhereville.
But Summer saying he was on his way there last night. He was driving during their live.
Really?
And Summer talked about how I don't know where he was going, but he was driving overnight on that live they did last night.
Someone might have been through here. It kind of looks like a tire. But, usually of the winter time, you can see on this hill, you can see bikes and tires.
Yeah.
They were in Arkansas. At this time. Actually, Dawn was in town, but Candace was in Arkansas at this time. And also, like, this was the only time I had ever seen a car, and it was a neighbor. And it's like, here I was like, look how busy, bustling this road is. And there actually was a car that came. Did I use your Bluetooth, Justin, with your car? I don't know what that means. Did I use your Bluetooth? Usually. Yes, it's Trevor.
What's up?
Beside 110. So, yeah. All right. Well, we'll go through Ben Hill. I want to see. All right. It may work. It may not, guys.
You made it this far. I think it will work.
You never know. See. But look, can't you see the traffic hustling and bustling through here? God. Your car shows up. Yeah. It's such a busy road. I have stood out here for an hour. Here comes the car, actually. I have stood out here for an hour, which they're coming here, I think, to Ben Hill Road anyways. But thank you so much, Penelope. Penelope says, thank you so much for showing us different things on this case. I learned something new every video you do. So much love. Oh, that's very kind of you, Penelope. Thank you so much, my love. I appreciate it. Okay. Now, I had service right until I got to Fred's. Now, last time I was here, I had no service, no bars. I have AT&T, and I have AT&T hotspot in my vehicle as well. Thank you. Thank you, Sharon. Here, let me back up for them so they can get here. They want to go to this. Most of them are just good people here on this. Just go ahead. Let this person through. See, we had. Which way is it? I can't remember. You have to literally find a wide spot to let someone over. Which way? It's this way. It's this way. Okay, I remember now. Okay. It's so much more grown up. I mean, guys, look, it's literally the more you go back into this holler, the narrower the road gets. Like, they're just good You know, most of them are just good people here on this road. They don't bother anybody. All right, we're getting close.
Well, let me
Red's
put my
house.
seatbelt on.
Right here is where I pretty much lose service. Like right before, yeah, more like a long driveway. It's and then I lose service while I'm live, and then we're back here. But I want to show you something here as well. Okay. Thank you.
I'm back. I took some photos. I mean, as you go back, the road. Sorry, yeah. Not a chance.
Now watch this. Watch,
Okay.
we're gonna head out of this road.
Yeah. It's where the bus, like close to where like the bus is and stuff like that, I think. Okay. Let me pop this around.
The gate was after they used to have just like a cable there. Now we're driving back. This is the side of their hill right here. This is one side of their hill at least.
This is their hillside.
The house is on top of here, right here.
I mean, I can't see to the top. I don't know about y'all, but I can't see a house or anything there.
The house is on that hill that I just showed, right? Here's the creek. Let's go, BB.
All right. We turn left. Look at that. One summer home.
Okay, now this is Beach Creek.
It says Summer Wells, 1 year too long. Missing child. Okay. Now this is Don's property too.
This is the Wells property as well. This is what I want to show you right up here.
Okay. Here's the building.
Here's the building. Here's the building, right? Behind this building is like the mountain that they live up on. Right? This is the other side. Right? There's the, it's kind of blurry. Let me see if, there you go. There's the, goes right up to their house, right? They're up. Now, do you see anything at all? You see a house or anything? Now, how in God's green earth, particularly a stranger, going to know? There's no way. Not a chance.
that timber line right there. Now, what stranger is going to know that there is a kid up on that up on that hill, is going to know that she just went downstairs by herself and he's going to run down the hill with her. It's just not plausible. It's just not plausible, in my opinion, at all. No stranger. Don said the first couple cop cars was up there. They're questioning, they're doubting, and then he stops with they're doubting. They didn't believe him from the get-go. And then we have Don, LTL. This credit goes to LTL. Slipping.
Okay, I'm not understanding what you're saying. Can you?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, just the time that you called her that day. About what time was that?
Like how far in between calls between you and her having that call when she's picking up prescriptions to she's calling you saying Summer's missing? Do you know how long?
Yeah, I honestly can't say, but I remember. The only thing that I can remember, it was thinking, well, I might as well just work late because they're busy doing other things, and there's no point in me going home because I don't want to go home and sit there by myself. So,
See, there is no way that they're going to be there by yourself because the boys were supposed to be home, weren't they? And why would you call someone at 11:30 in the morning and say, you're wondering where they're at because you can work later? You haven't even had lunch yet. That is why I think Dawn had the boys that day, personally, because of these slip ups here. CPS was there the day before, and we have Allie and them talking about how CPS would actually make an appointment, not so much an appointment, but say you're going to be here at such and such time, such and such day. Why would they leave children alone at home when CPS had been there literally the day before?
I figured I'd just work late that day. And that's, yeah.
Okay. And why did Don call?
I have no idea. He just called. I don't even know if he was working at the time.
Okay.
But if he was working, he obviously wouldn't know that there was some dude looking at the little kids.
Well, everyone knows you called your wife. Could you kind of give us a little details about that? Do you kind of remember, was it morning, afternoon, later afternoon when you called her? Do you remember how that conversation went at all? Because Hunter's saying you called about, 2 people touching children or whatever. So could you kind of tell us if you remember what time the call was and how that conversation went?
Well, the only thing I know is, I call her from time to time just to see what she's doing, and she said that she's taking care of some prescriptions or whatever. It seemed to me that it was later than that, but because I made up my mind, well, they're busy doing this and whatever, I may as well just stay late at work. So I was working late.
You're not
Hey,
working
Don.
late.
Your wife messaged me and said that you was at home in a 3 o'clock hour, and I have that as evidence. She did not want nobody to know you was at home.
Now remember, Don was at home. It slipped multiple times. It reported to TBI Don was at home way before 3. 2, I believe he was at home before 1:30ish. Now remember, Candace gets home at about 3:15. 3:15. Don's already home. Uh-oh. What? Their phones are deleted, all 3 of them, at 3:30. That's not an accident.
After she messages you that, if that's not the case, then
do you have?
I mean, why would she say something?
Precisely, and that's what.
This LTL, I wish they would make more videos. Replay Crew, you can find the link in the description. Great channel.
But so they was at the lake, and then Hunter and his, I guess they went. She called and says, "Come by the house," and she begged to take Hunter to the lake with them so they could swim a little bit. Yeah. Seen them videos, and then I took her back and I said everything was okay in that situation between now.
Yeah. Which situation?
Sir.
Which situation?
Which situation? He realized he caught himself. Sir.
Sir.
This is all
Sir.
our property here to the left.
Listen to what he says here.
All this, our house is up there on top. All this is our property. So I turn straight away in here.
The volume's a little low, but so I turned in here. I turned in here. And remember, if Don was there before during the day, the boys are going to tell. Make no mistake. Make no mistake.
There was never somebody that just disappeared without a clue that I had.
And remember, CPS says the case and the CPS investigation merge. They overlap one another. Remember, CPS was there the 14th. Allie says that they literally had to make appointments. She didn't even know any of, them being there the 14th at the time because they weren't even talking at the time.
That I know of. I'm sure it happens, but not that I've ever seen in my life.
Well, when there's an abduction, I mean, what else would you call it?
Yeah.
Disappearing. I don't understand that. But yeah, if somebody was either hiding in the weeds there, waiting for the shade, either come in the basement. But yeah, I mean, we weren't 30 feet. They weren't 30 feet away when she got gone.
We weren't 30 feet. She weren't 30 feet away when they got gone.
Yeah. I mean, maybe 40 at the most.
Right.
I don't know.
Saw that night. How well do you know him? And do you know why he was out there around your boys?
Yeah, a lot of our neighbors heard, us screaming Summer's name, and so I think I don't know. I don't know for sure because I wasn't there, but I've known.
He caught himself. Our neighbors heard us screaming Summer's name. I don't know because I wasn't there. Don, come on, dude.
I've known him for years.
Well, I'm gonna end this show, but I mean, if you've said everything, I'm not looking into the church people to make
This
you
is a good
angry.
one.
I'm looking into the church people because they were some of the last people around your daughter, Donald.
No, they weren't around her at all. We was at our house and nobody was here but me. I wasn't here.
So when Robin
Nobody was here. No, they weren't. Cher, are you still in here? No, they weren't. Nobody was here but me. I wasn't here. He was so focused on defending the church. No, they weren't, Cher. I wasn't. Cher gets him really good
I'm
right
looking
there.
into the church people because they were some of the last people around your daughter, Donald.
No, they weren't around her at all. We was at our house and nobody was here but me. I wasn't here.
So when Robin tells Chris McDonough in that interview,
I believe he was going to, because there's a pattern in the way that we speak when we're going to name like more than one person. It's a rhythm. So he was going to say nobody was here but me, and then I think he was going to say me, the boys, but then he caught himself and he's like, I wasn't here.
and she said,
I didn't want to go home and sit by myself at 11:30 and your boys are supposed to be home. Hunter is confused. He thinks Don was at home. He knew Don was at home, in my opinion. Candace messaged Jenna saying Don was home. That's not the only person that has said that. Don says, I took her back. Who's her? We turned here, meaning to the buildings. We weren't 30 feet. They weren't 30 feet away. A lot of our neighbors heard us screaming for Summer. Nobody was here but me. I wasn't here. Don talks, then edits, and then talks, and then edits. He's a crazy one. A big old crazy one, y'all. Well, that's the thing. They can leave at any time. They are not arrested. And they have rights. And they have the right to remain silent, as every human being in this country does. And you don't have to talk to the authorities, and they know that. Now, Ronnie Lawson said they're not cooperating with the investigation. Why wouldn't you cooperate? This is your child, your missing child. Why wouldn't you? Now, just remember, if we know this, we don't have what authorities have, not even close. They are working continually, nonstop on this. Smiley called TBI this morning. I do think possibly that once the boys all the CPS stuff is final and everything is taken care of. 4 more days until court. Then I think potentially, hopefully, the ball might start moving. I'm praying. That's okay. I mean, you're welcome to, you might be right. You might be right that they're not. I have to have faith in the TBI to lay my head down at night. I personally have to. Otherwise, I don't think I could sleep. I know that there are good men and women working this case. I know that it can take a very long time for these cases to resolve. The wheels of justice turns very slowly, and I think it turns particularly slowly when you have parents who are not cooperating with the investigation, and you have children and a CPS case that is coinciding with an investigation right beside of it, and yet they are overlapping. That's just me. I know that the TBI wants this solved, and I believe are working to solve this. I personally don't think that they are going to give out anything to the public or to the suspects, especially if the parents are not even cooperating. So that's just me. But you could be right. Trust me, I want it done faster. I want it done faster. And yesterday, I want it done faster and I want it done yesterday, but I would rather it take longer and have all the I's dotted and the T's crossed. I'm praying anyways. I'm praying. All right, guys, that's it on this one. I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you so much. But I think we learned a lot in listening to these old interviews. I think what Allie said there with the CPS and was a big thing. The CPS don't come the day before and your daughter goes missing the day after and your Dudley is fired. In my opinion. These are all my opinions. Free to make what you want of them. God bless each and every one of you. I appreciate you. I'll see you guys tomorrow, Lord willing, at some point. I may go live later again if I have time. Got to do some stuff, but if I do, we may talk about Suzanne Summers and all that. So rest in peace, Suzanne Summers. God bless. Bye-bye.